I shared with you earlier what support I got from John in planning this service and just kind of in planning a whole bunch of stuff this summer in general. I asked him if he might have a suggestion for a meditation or a reading to share with you, and he sent me this story from a book called Quietly Courageous by Gil Rendle, who is one of his mentors. And we have used Gil's books on I call it the Ian era, from the Alban Institute, working on church leadership at some point in the past. Sarah and I couldn't remember exactly where it was, but we knew we'd use the book. I love this story. When the stories in the biblical text were a bit sparse, the rabbi scholars filled in the empty spaces with challenging ideas and tantalizing stories. This was called midrash. When it came to the exodus from Egypt, the waters lay before them unparted, and there was much anxiety. To lead the people into the water would be to drown. But to wait without action would be to give themselves to the capture and punishment of the Egyptians. They were trapped. Someone needed to be the first to go into the water to test the promise of God for deliverance. The Midrash tells that the leaders of the tribes of Israel all gathered at the water's edge, and they sat down and they argued with one another about who would go into the water first. Action was needed, but the leaders did what they knew, and they had a committee meeting. Apparently, no decision was forthcoming, and anxiety grew. So waiting for a decision no longer, Nahshon, son of Amminadab, simply remembered why they were there and the promise that had brought them there. So he stood up and he began to walk into the water. He walked into the water up to his ankles, and the water did not part. He walked in the water up to his waist, and the waters did not part. Up to his shoulders, up to his chin, the water still did not part, and he continued. And as he took the step that would have put his nose underwater, the waters parted. Quiet courage. Simply remembering the purpose of fleeing the Egyptians, remembering the promise given to Moses, he quietly got up and did what was required. We too are in a time of change. Let us hold the idea of quiet courage and moving forward by remembering our purpose as we sit in silent meditation.